Hello, and welcome back to Juneteenth Class of 2026. I am going to be your host for the rest of the evening. I'm GamingMusume. And Juneteenth Class of 2026 is an event by Black in a Flash celebrating 5 years of Black in a Flash on the GDQ channel. You can learn more about Black in a Flash and our community focused on Black speedrunners, challenge runners, and more by going to gdq.gg/BAF or following us on Blue Sky. The runs have been fantastic so far, and I'm honored to bring you another amazing run by none other than MathCat. MathCat, do you want to introduce yourself?
Thank you, Musume. Yes, I am MathCat. I always like to introduce myself in these as like a Jill of all trades. But I am very happy today because I have a new run to show. So I don't know how many people are necessarily familiar with the Flash engine and all the mini games that came out of it during its heyday. We are going to be speedrunning one of the last and greatest games to come out of it, Epic Battle Fantasy V, done by Kupo Games. I'm sure anyone who's played a Flash, who's messed around with Flash enough, hasn't like heard of this series. But yeah. Now, granted, we won't be doing a full run of this game. It is a very long speed run. I currently hold the second place record for any percent glitchless, but that's a 3-hour run. But we will be doing a quick little vertical slice of this through all the way to the second major boss of the game. So, this is a category I call BTF percent. And I guess we will get started in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Okay, I'm going to be mashing through a lot of text real quick. So yeah, we're starting out with Matt here. He is a he's a gamer, and what had happened is that his gaming console got knocked out by an earthquake. So now he's going out to investigate.
I see.
But in all seriousness, he is a swordsman of some type. So we're not doing any fights just yet. We're collecting a few things on the left side of the road here.
And you mentioned this is a shorter category than like the regular speedrun. So can you tell us a little bit about the Lance percent category?
Yeah. So this was a funny idea I had when looking back at like other EBF titles, because there is obviously there are several other games. I also have the current world record in 1 and 2, but Lance percent was a funny idea that I came up with because EBF 2's final boss is Lance, and so I was like, well, you could kind of just make a funny callback to that with this. So hence we have Lance percent. I'll point out what the BTF percent stands for later when we get to it, but that is a big part of it. So that first fight is pretty simple. You just kill a few slimes. It's nothing too tough. But then also Matt gets ambushed by No Legs, who also folds very quickly because we got lucky. Usually No Legs is a little bit dodgy, but he behaved this time and just let us get through. He will automatically surrender to you if you hit him with a water attack, because cats hate water.
That is true.
Yep. So but since Matt decided to spare No Legs, you now have a new party member. And also, this is quite notable for anyone who's familiar with I didn't mean to skip a turn. This is quite notable for anyone who's familiar with the series, because this is No Legs' first playable appearance, fully playable appearance. In previous entries, he was just kind of a minigame character and/or summon, but now he has a fully fledged out moveset.
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing a lot of love for Epic Battle Fantasy. A lot of people feeling nostalgic for this game series in the chat. So do you want to tell us a little bit about your history playing this game series?
Well, I mean, it was a huge part of my childhood, I will say. I remember just hopping on the computer every so often onto Armor Games or Congregate or and other like Flash hosting websites, and just having fun playing through the games. And I was really sad to hear Adobe was discontinuing proper support for the Flash engine, which was part of the reason this game came out the way it did, because it was kind of that here's developer Koopa Games' big attempt to finally make the biggest Flash RPG could at that time.
Right.
Yeah. Now I haven't played. It has been some time since I played it regularly, but I did get back into it once I started doing speedruns, because I was like, well, I do like my RPGs, and I do like touching this game in that lens. So here we are.
Yeah, and this is a very charming, hand-drawn, very nostalgic RPG with some really nice music too. And I hear some references. Are we going to see any of those anytime soon?
Well, there are definitely this game is chock full of reference material. I am kind of blinking on off the top of my head what becomes relevant immediately.
Mm-hmm. No, we can just let the chat be surprised when they see them or recognize them.
If you ever do a completionist run of the game, you'll see a lot of things that you'll blink in, that are just scattered throughout the game. There, as a leveler to Flash stuff, there's a lot of surprise elements from other games in here. So here's Natalie. She saw us steal that shovel, and she does not like that we did that. You might have saw that I changed the difficulty up to the maximum amount earlier to epic mode. And that's on purpose. We want no legs to die, and we are just going to skip a turn. Because Natalie also has an alternate win condition. If all living party members are lovable, she will just give up. But yeah, that's very fast fight. Very easy.
GG.
Just gotta remember to switch it back to 0 mode, because I don't want to end up going through a saga fight later.
Yeah, I saw you switch to epic difficulty, and I was like, are you flexing? Did you just change the difficulty in the middle of the speedrun? But it's cool to see that's a tech.
Yeah. So yeah, Natalie's on our team now. I guess I didn't really go over the characters for RPG roles per se. I did mention that Matt's a bit of a swordsman, and he is analogous to your classic Final Fantasy warrior or your Dragon Quest warrior. Mm-hmm. Natalie is your red mage, but really she is kind of, I like comparing her more to a Dragon Quest sage. She has a lot of good offensive and defensive spells, but not a lot of good physical damage dealing. Although, for both Matt and Natalie, they won't be doing a lot of damage dealing as we get later into this. Oh, and then as for No Legs, I've seen him described as a bit of a rogue character, but he's and I do agree to some extent, he's probably the most polarizing stat line of the bunch, because he has a lot less HP, but in exchange has the highest evade of the party. Mm. And a lot of his attacks focus on doing cleanup kills rather than dealing raw damage.
Okay, yeah. I see.
So we did that little optional fight because we want that sword that was sitting there. Oop, I didn't mean to teleport back. Whoop. We will be going... Oh, yeah. So we'll be going to the Grand Gallery real quick. This is your, achievement reward area. If you come here after collecting medals in this game, which are given for completing various achievements in the game, you can get a few, extra resources earlier on. This is a very relevant thing to do in both this little subcategory as well as in the main run, because you do want to get a few equips that are really easy, or not really easy, they're really useful for their effects later on in the game. So there's one of them right there. We won't be equipping it yet, but it will become relevant soon. Well, in a few minutes, I will say. And I guess
No,
first use of a limit. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say first use of one of our limit breaks here.
Limit break.
Yep. This one is an EBF4 reference. But yeah, we just do that there because you're almost guaranteed to have that limit break ready here, and you won't need it anywhere else for the time being. So you just pop it here to make this fight go faster.
Yeah, and speaking of fights going faster, definitely since this is a turn-based RPG, I can see there are some RNG elements. How RNG heavy is it actually? For those of us not familiar with the game.
That's kind of an interesting question because, like, I haven't really been able to, like, get into the nitty-gritty of this as much as I have with EBF 1 and 2. Like, I know what RNG elements are very core to that game, and, like, this one has, like, plenty of RNG elements in it, but, like, I haven't, like, seen, like, any things that are, like, super crucial. This is, like, top-tier importance, aside from, like, one fight that I've been messed up on several times in the past.
Ooh. Oh, that won't happen today. We know it. We're manifesting.
Yeah. Now, I don't actually need to collect all of the things that we're picking up here because I'm kind of just going off of. I am just kind of going off of what I remember from doing the glitchless run, where you do pick up quite a few things here. You only really need the equips and the You really only need the equips for this category, but I do like to give myself a little bit of a buffer.
Yeah, why not?
Grab this. And yeah, we unlock that chest here with a key that we picked up right before we warped out. That's also another really useful piece of equipment we'll be making use of. Well, not for as much in this run, but it is still nice to have. And then we're gonna go over here real quick and open this side area. This is a shortcut back to some of the stores. We're just collecting a few more resources for the first boss. And also going into the materials shop because we do need, Oh, I do remember you do need to come here real quick.
Was that the shop's chest that you opened up?
Yeah.
They don't mind?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, we're not gonna worry about it.
We need a few more shurikens. Oh, I might have gone too hard on selling. Hopefully that's good. Okay. And then we're gonna go back up north real quick. Because you need those shurikens and to sell a few items just so that you can also come up here and grab one little thing from the equipment shop real quick, the Genji armor. This will become useful in fight from now.
People are getting curious about BTF percent, but we are going to find out exactly what that means pretty soon. Stay tuned.
I guess a hint for the initiated. It is named after an achievement name in this game.
There you go. There's your hint.
Although I guess I'll have to actually like go and like point at it directly because it wouldn't actually like show up otherwise.
Right.
Because I already have it unlocked.
Are those? What are those enemies? Is that a cactus? Pile?
It's a sand slime.
Oh, it is a sand slime.
Oop.
And so there are elemental weaknesses in this game as well, right?
Yeah, I haven't been able to like point to them directly because I don't have any enemies scanned in this run, and I didn't think to turn on the automatically show you enemy weaknesses cheat, which is allowed for the run from what I understand. But yeah, there are several enemy weaknesses. That's partially why we picked up that sword earlier, because it is very useful for this early game section. we're going to be doing a few level ups real quick. Yeah, and then we're just gonna switch here. We don't have anything right there. Oh, forget to put on that. And here's our first boss, the Jotun. We are going to... The reason we picked up the Genji armor is because on defend, it gives a nice little 90% attack buff, which, quite nice.
90% is big.
Yeah, this is mostly just a setup turn. Really, I could have used NoLex's turn to help clean up the ads real quick, but it's fine. So we're not going to attack with Matt just yet because we want to get rid of this stack of dry, because there are... One thing that is new to EBF 5 specifically is the neutral statuses. They make certain effects... They make certain attacks deal more damage and certain attacks deal less. Dry makes, I believe, water and ice attacks weaker. Or no. It makes ice and thunder weaker and fire and bomb stronger, so we just throw out a bomb there to make this fight easier.
Oh.
Yep.
The boss fell over.
Oh, and then we get free surrenders here, so we don't need to do anything else. So that's boss 1 of 2 down for this run.
GG. Beautiful.
Oops. And then we're going to pick up this sword real quick and move on.
And while you defeated that boss, we definitely are getting some support for the run. And I would love to remind you that you can use your Prime sub to support GDQ. And so we really appreciate all of the support. And yeah.
So yeah, normally we would, in the glitchless run, we would go to that little dungeon that was up north there. But we don't really need to because that item is only useful past the point of this run, so we won't worry about it. Now we're going to do this real quick optional fight over here as well, because we're going to pick up a piece of equipment that NoLegs wants. And yeah, we're entering No Man's Land because as a result of getting past the Jotun, part of what Natalie wanted to do before she ran into the party was that she was investigating these strange occurrences with the earthquakes that were happening, and so she thinks the origin point is around here, which is why we're now here in No Man's Land. And then, can I... Yeah, this is probably fine.
Is that a cat with a gun and a riot shield?
Yes.
I see. I gotta say, with how adorable the enemies are in this game, did you ever feel bad for killing any of them? You could say no.
Probably not, yeah. Yeah, and now NoLegs has a riot shield now.
Oh! NoLegs has joined the riot shield forces. We love that.
Yeah, it's mostly just useful because it gives NoLegs quite the nice attacking element to focus on, in that it is tied to the dark element. That was Lance. He saw that we were coming through here and decided to do something about it. He ran over the entire party. So now we are down Natalie because he kidnapped her because he thinks she'll be useful for his later plans.
Oh no.
However, the nice thing about it is that we did get full limit breaks off of that, so we will be using that quite shortly here.
Taking notes. Getting run over is good sometimes. It gives you extra powers.
And then, I guess to explain what also happened here is that while that occurred, this girl here saw like some amounts of the events that were happening. This is Anna. She's the guardian of Greenwood. Well, not the guardian. She is a protector of the Greenwood Village, and she's been kind of exploring the disappearances that have been showing up around around here as well. But she thinks that Matt and No Legs are part of the group that is stationed here.
Okay.
I did kind of goof on my sequencing a little here. I was supposed to use another hand bomb here because that does make one thing I didn't mention before is that the reason these bombs are useful is because they also inflict a stack of stagger, and stagger in this game gives you oh, she surrendered. Stagger makes us any future. Oop, don't mean to flee there. Stagger makes us any attack received as a guaranteed critical hit. And that makes Cleavers just very much useful because it already has a high critical hit rate in this game. And one really cool effect is that crits can stack. So you can get a double crit and even a triple crit in this game.
Ooh.
So yeah, we defeat Anna, and she joins our cause because she realizes that we aren't like affiliated with these guys here. So
Another life pro tip: when you defeat somebody, they might join you. So
yeah. So yeah, I'm doing a quick little bit of inventory management here. Just getting our first skill upgrades of the game as well.
And chat's started talking about the flavors of slimes, is what I'm seeing, which naturally made me think about flavors of slimes, because we always have to talk about food around here. What flavor of slime would you eat if slimes were flavored?
Probably one of the ice cream slimes, because I think that's like one of the few that are like that are stated to actually be that. Like the chocolate slimes are not actually chocolate. The lava slimes are lava, but also they're lava.
Right.
Electric slimes are, well, that'd probably not feel very good to taste, I'd think.
It might be like, an electric flavor. A little bit of bang in your flavor, something like that. I don't know. I'm trying to make it work, but I don't think it works. And I'm kind of afraid to ask what the chocolate slime actually is, so I won't.
Now, this fight is a bit of a pain point in this run from my previous attempts, because for one, the bubbler MX1, I believe it's called, has a nice little accuracy debuff skill, which makes it really tough to get around because you do not have like a lot of resources to get around that at this point in the game. But moreover, the current weather, and oh yes, there is a weather in play in this game. This is airstrikes. It has been quite mean to me in the past. Oh, rip No Legs.
Oh no, No Legs. Cat down. Oh yes.
Okay, we are gonna need to use 9 lives here. This is a really good skill. It gives you a group-wide heal and auto-revive. But at this point in the game, we are kind of in an awkward spot to properly utilize it due to its low stacks at level 1 and 2. But yes, as for the airstrike weather, it is very hard to work around because if you're unlucky, it will give the bubbler a meta pack, and if it heals a lot from that, it just makes the fight take forever.
And is the weather RNG too? Like, could you come here and get different weather?
No, the weather is always fixed per area. Oh, that was a free limit break. Okay, we'll take it. Thank you.
We love free things.
But yeah, if in the game's 2.0 update, they did make it so that if you're starting a new playthrough, you can turn on remix weather, which changes what weather is loaded in for each area, which is cool, but it is still whether it's beneficial or not can depend greatly.
Right.
Okay, hopefully we won't have any more issues with this fight, because we are getting close to the bottom of this health pool. Although we are still getting accuracy issues. The problem is that I don't want to pop any of my accuracy boosting buff items because I only have such a limited supply, and would rather save it for one of the future fights that are like this.
Right. But GG, beautiful fight.
Yep. And now we're inside the Iron Fortress. So now we're trying to figure out where Nellie's being stowed away. We only have one way to go, so we're just going to keep moving forward. First fight of the area. And because it took a little longer than I would normally want to, I don't have the limit break I would normally pick for this, which is just no legses. Mighty Oak could be useful, but not that useful for me to count on it.
And now we've got...
This is also...
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, this is also the point at which I would normally switch Matt off from being my main damage dealer, because the hockey stick is just not that good for that purpose. And we don't get... And of Matt's other swords, he doesn't really have anything else that's like particularly useful at this point in the game.
Okay. So he's just there for the ride at this point, right?
Well, not entirely. He does actually... He serves a nice role as the team's buffer for this point in the game, because he has... Well, he has access to the attack buffing skill in the ill, and that's like really big ups.
And then who becomes the main damage dealer then?
Anna, actually. For one, she comes at a relatively higher level than Matt and Ilex are at this point, so that's nice. And also, she comes with a lot of skills that are strong against the enemies in this area.
Okay, I see. It's one of those things where in an RPG you get a new character, and sometimes they come in at a lower level, and that can be quite annoying, but it's nice that she actually comes at a higher level.
Yeah, and normally this wouldn't be the case. She would usually be around the same level as the party, but we are skipping a lot of like optional encounters.
Right.
So yeah, I switched Matt over to the hippie clothes because they come with a nice little bonus effect of increasing the power of buff skills. So currently, Temper would only give a 40% increase, but the clothes and the hat are pushing it up to 60.
Is there any lore to the Iron Fortress? Is there any reason why these, what do we call them? These little birds have teamed up with the robots?
Well, they're just here because this is an electrical area. The electric sprites are here just because it's an electrical area. The flybots, I believe, are inventions of Lance's team here.
I see.
I guess another hint. There is the reason this is an Iron Fortress is also tied to the name of the category.
Ooh, more hints. And GG.
Yep. Alright, so that'll get us through here, and then there's another fight down here. I think, actually, this is a good time to pop Anna's limit break. We don't really use hers in this point in the game because it's just not very useful, per se. There aren't many enemies that are weak to Earth, so we kind of never pick her limit break although her other skills are quite useful. Okay, Siphon's not the worst thing in the world to happen to Matt. That blocks any skills from being used. Oh, Confuse might be a problem.
Does Confuse work
actually, no,
like any other game? Will you attack his teammates?
No. It's Confuse will just give will just make random attacks come out.
Okay, I see.
Which actually, given that we are Siphon, that might actually be better than nothing. Oh, the other useful thing about the Riot Shield is that I think at level 3 it gains the ability to counterattack when No Legs gets hit. So that is very useful because that just adds more damage on the board, for one, and two, you might notice that those turrets are getting applied Weaken to them. Weaken is both like a negative and somewhat of a neutral status. It gives it lowers the enemy's attack and defense every turn for every turn it's applied, and on top of that, it also makes it so that they take 50% more damage from dark skills, which, remember, the Riot Shield itself is a dark weapon.
Riot Shield is a dark weapon. That's interesting. Also, did I just see a little certain fairy from a certain video game series? Or did my eyes deceive me?
You might have.
I don't know if anyone else caught that.
And then we hit the switch, and then we don't get pushed through this little puzzle here. And now we have access to the north side of the fortress.
Amazing.
We found Natalie, but we can't get to her because there's a wall of spikes in front of us.
I hate when that happens. There's a wall of spikes in front of me, trying to get somewhere. I like how she's just there crying and you're grabbing loot like a loot goblin. Love that.
Yep. And now here's Lance. We do have the chance to fight him right now. We're going to do a few things in preparation first, though. We're going to grab this. We're going to grab that. We're going to upgrade this. We don't really need this per se, but it's nice. 9 lives 2 is good, too. And now we get into it. So, my main strategy here is just to let Anna do the talking here with her arrows.
What do arrows sound like? Yeah, lots of love for the art. Very charming art style in this game. And the soundtrack. This Lance does have a banger soundtrack.
Oh, yeah. Zian Su, I believe, has been the main composer for the entire series. A lot of amazing tracks throughout. Yeah, I believe the name of this track is Mechanical Condemnation, and it is definitely one of my favorites in 5.
And so is there any particular strategy for this boss fight?
Not really. Lance is weak to holy spells, which is why we picked up Blessed Arrows on Anna and Sacred Strike on No Legs. I guess the only other thing is to keep buffs up on Anna and No Legs. I did kind of forget I could have put Temper on No Legs. Weakened stacks aren't as useful because Lance does resist Dark in exchange for being weak to Holy. I don't want to proc my Limit Break. I'll just let this go.
Oh, he has a gun.
Yeah.
That was jarring.
Yeah, it used to be a gun blade between EBF 2, 3, and 4, and then got changed to just a regular gun in 5.
Well, GG, that was Lance, right?
Yeah, but he only just retreated for now.
Oh.
We still got a bit of work to do, it seems.
I see.
So now, this is another fight that's a bit of a pain point to me, but only just because of these fish. Because unlike every other enemy in this area, they are neutral to. They are pretty much the opposite weakness profile to everything else around here. They heal off of electric, they heal off of bomb, and they heal off of. I think they also heal off of holy. Though you really wouldn't be using holy on the robots otherwise.
Right, and your entire build, I'm assuming, was sort of centered around having holy for the previous fight.
Yeah. Oh, and also they have like a final attack after you defeat them. There are ways to get around it, but you need access to status effects that we don't have currently.
Right. He was defeated, but he can't fall here. Exactly. He can't fall here because of the plot.
Okay. But yeah, those are done, and now we have I believe some fly. Oh no, nope, it's more cats. Okay.
Those are cats with TNT.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
I'm a little worried about it. I can't lie. Oh, they just run at you and oh.
Yeah.
And that was a cat with a gun. Well, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it, actually.
All right, now we have I forget what names these are. I think these are the actual like defenders. I kind of call them all 3 variants of this enemy the defender, just because they were based off of a previous enemy in I believe 3 that also shared the name.
Making quick work of them, though.
Well, the flybots are small fry. It's just the defender itself that's a real problem due to its many hard-hitting attacks.
Right.
I pop a 9 lives here because I don't really trust where things are going.
We love safety.
Yep, there it is.
There you go. You knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, auto-revive is a really nice status to have this early in the game, especially because your main revival spell does not become available until, like, the proper mid-game, and even in the speedrun, you just don't get it because it's too much of a slog to grab.
Really like a minimalist build is what you're running, essentially.
Yeah, just pick up a bunch of damage healing stuff, and then as for no legs, you just use 9 lives as your main means of revival.
I've been meaning to ask. We got this cat character named No Legs. None of the cats have legs. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, outside of like 2 specific instances, all cats in the series have no legs.
There you go.
There's a lore explanation for that in EBF 4.
Speaking of EBF games, obviously you've played probably the entire series, I'm assuming. Do you have a favorite EBF?
It would be this one. Like I like the way that 5 is designed the most, just because of how, like, it's not exactly a bounce game per se, but it has like the best attempt at doing that. And it's really cool because there's a lot of like viable builds for the team you can play around. like, for example, the Matt buff build is just really good for this speedrun, but it's also nice outside of it as well. There's a lot of ways you can play around with the characters that I think are just fun to use, and like, moreover, one of the cool things that this game did between going for the transition from 4 to this was that it did away with the MP bars, because that was like a big staple of the entire series. But it was incredibly hard to balance around because once you get late enough into the game, the enemies, the players just basically have infinite MP pools. So the system playing instead, what was put in its place was a cooldown system where certain like powerful skills have cooldowns put attached to them. Like 9 lives, for example, has a 10-turn cooldown, which is pretty strong. And I think that's a much more interesting system to play around.
Yeah, it definitely does
also
sound more interesting.
Also, I also just like I like 4 and 5 because those are the 2 games in which Anna is a character in. She was not a proper character up until EBF 4.
Yeah, I do really like the music in this area. Very solemn. Yes, cats would be too powerful if they had legs. This is true. If you've ever been around a cat, they do a lot with their legs. They jump around, they go places they're not supposed to. So, yeah, I believe it.
I will say one funny thing is that Matt did make a game with or the developer Matt did make a game with cats with legs recently. Find Matt's Cats. So I guess check that out later if you want to. It's an interesting spot the difference game from what I've heard. I haven't gotten a chance to play it myself, but it's really cool.
Oh, nice.
Oh, and I guess I should have mentioned part of why we went that way was to get further into the area, but also because we just picked up my favorite bow in the game, the Juggernaut. It's a bomb elemental bow. And it just also looks really cool.
It does look cool. Is that a spiked bow? Love that.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, it does like fire like small ordnance for arrows instead of normal arrows. But yeah, the bomb element is nice, and the bomb boost is nice because these last few enemies are weak to it. Not to mention that if we were going further into the run in like any percent glitchless, it is just really strong for until Anna gets her final bow for the run in the Stinger. Like it has nice stats.
Yeah. You know,
yeah, the double defender fight is kind of a problem, but you get like one of the best weathers to fight it in radiation. Every turn it pulses and gives the entire field a defensive debuff. Now that can be kind of dangerous if you were playing on higher difficulties, but for this, it's more beneficial to us because giving the enemy a defense debuff is just nice.
now I am a little concerned that radiation as a weather would not want to live somewhere where we get rain, sun, and radiation, but it's nice that you can use it to your advantage.
Yeah, you might notice that the reason why there is because of that little thing that was in the middle of that area. So yeah, that switch lets us rescue Natalie. We're gonna come up here real quick to grab a hammer. This is normally a key item you would need to progress through the game further, but we just want to pick it up just cause. Now that Natalie's on the team again, we can finally we're getting close to the end of the run now. Because obviously if we just rescued her, then where is Lance?
That is true.
We're gonna do one last set of skill upgrades. We're picking up a few things that Natalie will appreciate for this last fight. Oh, I should have done Nitro Arrow instead of that. That's fine. hopefully this won't take too much of a digression.
And while you pick up those upgrades, I'd like to remind everyone that you can catch up on past hotfix shows, specials, and GDQ marathons over on the Games Done Quick YouTube channel, youtube.com/gamesdonequick. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay up to date as we go into the final fight.
Yep. So Lance has returned, and now he's brought along his tank with him, the Neon Valkyrie. Well, actually, I should have said. Well, he did that the first time around because he did run over Man No Legs with it.
Right.
Yeah, it is somewhat of a threat in it, but we aren't too worried. You saw that I buffed up Natalie to start this fight because she also has access to this really cool spell called Judgment, which huge amount of damage. Also heals her for any damage taken, or she deals with it, so it's really just a really nice skill to have all around. Lance is down. Normally, the EBF2 equivalent to this fight is kind of a real stinker in that run, in EBF2 any percent, but here it's kind of just more of a road bump more than anything else.
I can see that. You're making it look very easy. Sort of just fighting a tank. I think bringing a tank to a fight with people with bows and staffs and hockey sticks is a bit unfair. But I suppose Lance didn't know he was going against the Math Cat, so.
Yeah. We will be getting... Well, no, yeah, this will be just pretty straightforward. We're just going to keep spamming it down with a few bomb and electric attacks. Use No Legs to heal as needed.
So would this be a concerning fight in a casual playthrough? Because as I said, you're making it look really easy.
Well, to be fair, we are playing it on 0 difficulty for the run, so it's fairly innocuous. It's been some time since I did the run proper or it's been a while since I played the game casually from this point in the game. But the Valkyrie itself isn't too tough of an enemy, although you do want to get rid of the whatever its mounted attack is, because it can whittle you down over time if you're not careful. I'd be more worried about the super boss variant of this fight, because it is kind of a
boss variant.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, that fight's over, and that is time.
GG.
Yeah. Like I said before, this is only a short slice of the entire I or any percent glitchless category. There would be 3 more major fights after this that we would be doing, and Lance does join the party under duress after we've done this. Because if you were playing this casually, and you were playing this on the epic difficulty LT, you gain a certain achievement for defeating Lance here, and which is what I named this category after, Bash the Fash. Yeah. But yes, Lance would join the party under duress here, and he is quite the useful damage dealer throughout the mid to late game. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much for the amazing run. We finally got to figure out what BTF means, and we love it. We love it. It's super amazing that you got to showcase a run that you made up. And so do you want to let the wonderful people know where we can find you, what you're going to be up to next, and do you have any shout-outs?
Yes. So I'm, of course, on Twitch I am _mathcat. I try to stream occasionally. I haven't been in a while just because there's been a lot of moving parts around the way. It is probably worth noting that I will be running Epic Battle Fantasy 1 and 2 as a biathlon in SGDQ in 2 weeks from now, so keep that in mind. Please stay tuned to GDQ for that. I guess shoutouts to Kupo Games, the developer for the EVF series. Again, really impressive developer. I've loved his work for years. Again, he has a new game out, Find Matt's Cats. If you want something a bit more casual than an RPG experience, that's a really cool game. You can... I do believe a free version of EVF 5 is still on Armor Games and Congregate if you wanted to like play around with this as well. It doesn't have like the extra stuff like the dungeon I was mentioning before that we kind of skipped through, but you still get to play through most of the main story, and it's a really cool game. Shoutouts to my friend Eve, who's always been my kind of co-driver when I'm doing speedruns and other things. She wasn't available for commentary this time around, but she's always been a really big help for when I'm like studying and learning runs and doing commentary for them. I guess that's mostly it for me. Oh, I guess also for my other social, on Blue Sky, I'm mozudine.bsky.social. I do talk about my runs sometimes, and sometimes I just yap.
All right. Well, thank you so much, MathCat. Remember to definitely check out the wonderful runner, MathCat, for the amazing run. And